I'm Dr. Aaron Harris, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about 3 mistakes that many people make when it comes to their taxes, and it costs them a whole lot of money. If my wife and I didn't have our tax strategy, we would probably have to pay around an additional $50,000 each and every year to the IRS. The number one biggest mistake that most people make with their taxes is choosing the wrong tax professional to help them. There's a saying that the more you make, the more they take, talking about the IRS and the government, how as you make more money, they take more money from you. So the more money you make, the more important it is that you make sure that you have a good tax professional. When I think about a good tax professional, what I think about is how much we pay a tax professional relative to how much money they save us in taxes. And an example of this is if a tax professional is able to help you see or find $1,000 worth of deductions and you have a 30% effective tax rate, that means that you would save $300 just by them helping you realize that you had this $1,000 deduction that you didn't know that you had access to. And so the reason that I happily pay a tax professional and why I go out and try to get the best tax professional that I can get is because if they've spent their life doing taxes, if they've spent years going to school, studying, passing tests, and they're knowledgeable about taxes, then when they're able to look at my tax situation and what we have going on, then they're able to help us to be able to go save thousands of dollars. That's why when it comes to taxes, I don't look for the cheapest person and I don't go and try to handle my taxes myself, because I know that all the tax professional has to do is help me find a couple $1,000s worth of deductions, and that will pay for their services. But they're usually able to help you find much more than that. And so a big mistake that people make is not using the right professional. Sometimes they go with a friend or a family member or someone who was recommended to them, but they're not getting that tax professional the best that they can get. And in addition to this, what I want you to do is not only look for someone who can help you with your taxes during tax season or right when you're filing, but find someone that can help you strategize throughout the year so that you can come up with a plan to save more on your taxes. The second biggest mistake that people make is not knowing about taxes. I call this you pay an ignorance tax. What that means is you could have saved thousands of more dollars, but what happened is you did not learn about taxes and you don't know about tax things such as your effective tax rate and marginalized tax brackets and tax rates and what that means for you. And so because people do not know about taxes, they end up paying way more money in taxes. So everyone would love to go get a raise at their job or a promotion or additional income for their business. But one thing you can do is you can just learn how to pay less in taxes, and that'll be equivalent of you getting a raise, a promotion, or a bonus. But in order to do this, you have to be willing to go and learn about some things that you don't know. Learn the difference between a deduction and a credit, and what deductions you may be able to take for your business or for what it is that you do, because there may be some expenses that you're paying for with money that you receive after taxes, when really those could have been a deduction. And so some people pay an ignorant tax just because they do not know. But literally knowing about my own tax situation has saved me thousands of dollars. And I don't just rely on a tax professional to go and do my taxes. I just don't turn over my paperwork, they send them back to me and I sign them. Instead, I want to know and I want to learn what are the deductions, what's going on, why are they doing certain things. And the reason that I want to do that is so that I can be be more knowledgeable about the decisions that I make in the future. In the same way, I want you to be knowledgeable. And so what you have to do is you have to be willing to learn, because you don't want to pay that ignorance tax, because you just do not know what you don't know. Another huge mistake that I see a lot of people making is waiting until the last minute. We know for personal taxes and LLCs, most of them are due around April 15th. And so a lot of people who start waiting until the end of March or early April to start looking for their taxes and getting them done. Instead, what you should do is you should get all your paperwork and forms really by the end of January and start getting those filed away. There are multiple reasons and benefits of starting early. The first reason is you're able to beat the rush. If you wait till the end of March or early April to get your taxes in, then your tax professional probably has a lot of other people who have waited for the last minute. And so they can't give your tax return the attention that it truly needs. So one of the reasons that you want to go early is because they'll most likely have more time to dedicate to your individual tax return. Another reason why it's good to go early is so you can prepare. If you're going to have a big payment that you need, even if you go with your tax professional and you know what your taxes are even before you submit them, you know how much money you're going to owe to the IRS, then what happens is you already have that knowledge, so you know how to maneuver and what you need to do. But if you wait till April to do it, then you're kind of hit with a tax bill and you don't have a lot of wiggle room, and you'll be charged interest right after that. So you want to make sure that you're going and that you're knowledgeable and that you're doing all of these things, because when people wait till the last minute, then they miss out on a lot of money. And there's a bonus one for you. Instead of waiting for the last minute, what you should do is you should be proactive. And when it's not tax season, when it's June, July, August, and it's summertime, and most tax professionals don't have a lot going on, that's one of the best times to talk to them. I like to talk to my tax professional one time in the summer, then I'll come around and talk to them later in the fall and even the winter before taxes are due, so that I can make sure that I'm doing things in a right way. I don't wait until March or April to try to figure out what my strategy is. I have it going into the year so that I'm proactive with my taxes instead of being reactive. In the same way, if you are proactive with your taxes, if you're able to talk with a tax professional year round to get advice on your taxes, your strategy, what are some things you can do to limit your tax bill, then that will help you out a lot. Like I said, a lot of people are looking at how to make more money, but if you just use the money that you made more strategically, if you knew more about taxes, then that can save you a lot of money. So the three things that you need to do. Number one is make sure that you pick the right tax professional that's not only going to do your taxes, but that's going to teach you about taxes, and not just do what you told them or do the paperwork that you told them, but they're actually going to give you strategies that help you to be able to save. Number two, knowing how taxes actually work, not just saying I'm going to pay someone else to do it without learning the information. You want to know that information, and that's going to save you a ton of money in the future. And then number three, you don't want to wait till the last minute. You want to be proactive instead of being reactive. So if you enjoyed this video, then watch the other videos on my channel, which are all about financial literacy.